Hi everyone, Evan Schwecke here from De La Rosa Lending Group. It goes without saying, the most important focus during these turbulent times is on our physical health and safety of our family and our friends. But what about our financial health and well-being? We've been fielding calls here at De La Rosa Lending Group from flippers, mortgage brokers, and our investors asking, should I be concerned about the real estate market? Should I be holding, investing, or selling? For those of us over the age of 40, we've been there, we've done that. The S&L crisis of the late 80s and early 90s, 9/11, obviously the Great Recession of 2007-2009 are just some of the more memorable events that destabilized our domestic economy for a period of time. As with all calamities and hardships in general, the overused cliche, "this too shall pass," is very apropos. But even in a crisis, there is opportunity. And here are 4 of the most important things that real estate investors, especially flippers, need to consider in order to successfully navigate and profit in the coming months. Number 1, low interest rates. Just when you thought rates couldn't get any lower, they are at an all-time low, and they will stay at these levels for the foreseeable future. That's a very big positive for both home flippers and for home buyers. Now listen, realistically, over the next 60 to 90 days, you may see a standstill in the home market just because banks are backed up. They're doing a lot of refis, but that's short term. As the cloud lifts, you will find these low rates still in play, which makes housing much more affordable. Number 2, housing inventory. The housing inventory right now, prior to this virus, is at an all-time low. Since the virus has hit, many sellers have decided to take their homes off of the market because there's fear in the air, and they're going to hold off for the next 60 to 90 days before putting their houses back on the market. As a result, it may be in the best interest of home flippers to start throwing bids 10, 15, 20% below what they would have even a month ago. We had a borrower call us yesterday, and they are now going into contract in a deal for a house that was sold for $128,000 last month. Last week, the lender pulled out of the deal, and the wholesaler approached our borrower and told them they could have the house for $105,000. That's essentially a 20% discount. So if you throw enough bids out there, something eventually should stick. Number 3, material costs. Okay, material costs, at least for the short term, are going to go up because 30% of materials used in rehabs comes from China. And that material right now is sitting in a port somewhere in China. So for those of you who are in the midst of working on a project, look at your scope of work, and it might be in your best interest at this point to add 15% to your total cost so that you are not caught with unexpected costs going forward. This should be a temporary increase. Hopefully you'll be able to offset some of these increases by buying some homes that are available now at a discount. And number 4, and this is really the wild card, are the home buyers going to come back into the market when the clouds are clear? We say a resounding yes. Not every home buyer that was looking last month will be back, and those that won't be back are going to be people who are hourly workers who are getting laid off. And quite frankly, most of those hourly workers are long-term renters and not homeowners. The other sector that may not come back into the market, at least immediately, are small business owners who want to focus on getting their businesses back in order before they look at a house. However, there's a huge group out there that will continue to look for homes, and that's the millennial group. You have a lot of millennials that are starting to form families, that are ready to buy their first home, that have the savings for a down payment, that will be actively looking for properties. And the fact that there's not a lot of inventory should hold up prices at their current levels. And if you do see a decline, it will be minimal. So based on what we just discussed, what should you be doing? This is actually a great time to put a strategy together. So the first thing you need to do is look at your existing inventory. How many houses do you have that are ready to go on the market right now? Do you have any homes that are in flux where you have not completed the the rehab? Have you just signed a contract to start a new project? Those three elements are something that you have to look at, and then you have to look at your financial liquidity. You need to take a 6-month forward look and say, can I hold on to my inventory? Does it make financial sense for me to hold on for the next 6 months? Am I going to make money? Remember, you have taxes, utilities, mortgages. There are going to be carrying costs throughout those 6 months. So if you feel you have too much relative to your liquidity, it may behoove you to start to call a local realtor and try to unload 1 or 2 pieces of property. Now, if you don't have anything at this point in time and you have some cash, as I said earlier, you may want to throw some bids out there, 20% below what you would have paid last month, and you might get lucky. I'm actually confident you will get lucky, and you'll have some great inventory that you'll be able to put on the market, hopefully before the end of this selling season. And if you have to hold it longer, again, look at your financial liquidity and assess how long you can maintain that. So at the end of the day, if you have cash, look for opportunities, take a drive, look at different neighborhoods. What price range can you sit with a property for, again, at least 6 to 9 months from renovation to closing? If it's your first flip, call some wholesalers. Trust me, they're at home just like you, that you'll have a captive audience. Call some brokers. They're at home just like you. And guess what? Most of the people like you are probably not making those phone calls. So you have an edge right now. So put your strategy together, look for opportunity, stay focused on the end game, and we'll see you at the top. Thanks for joining us. Take a look at our Facebook page, De La Rosa Lending Group, and stay tuned for some upcoming episodes as we help you navigate through these crazy times successfully.